Facing a wallpaper dilemma and you don't know how to fix it? Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe you have started and now it's a big mess. Or maybe you need a simpler solution that doesn't wreck your budget or your sanity. We were just in this exact position helping friends get their house ready for sale, and we had to pivot a lot. In this video, we will cover what to do when the wallpaper won't come off clean, what to do with textured or damaged walls, how to deal with paper backing that just won't budge, when to stop scraping and when to start sealing, and how to lean into the texture if the wall is not perfect. We ended up finding a solution that not only saved us tons of hassle, but also resulted in a gorgeous high-end finish. By the end of this video, you will know all the tricks into turning a wallpaper disaster into something totally doable. Here's what we were dealing with. The homeowner tried removing the wallpaper herself with a steamer and a scoring tool, which is basically a disc that you rub on the walls that has teeth in it. We tried that as well and quickly learned that that was causing more damage than help. They were overwhelmed, and honestly, we would have been too. So let's start with the first fix that you can do to remedy this, and that is just start by trying to peel off the wallpaper. We did our best to get as much of the wallpaper off as possible. The steamer did help some, especially in small sections, but we found that there were layers of wallpaper backing. So we would quickly peel off the top layer very easily, but then there were multiple layers of paper backing that just wasn't going to budge. And then even after removing that paper backing, we were surprised to find a second layer of wallpaper underneath. So we had to be a little bit creative with this. Trent came in and he tried a few techniques, and the putty knife came to the rescue. He steamed the wall, lightly started scraping with the putty knife, and as you can see, both sheets of the paper backing came off. So we found a game changer. This is a great solution to try if you find that your steamer is not working the way that it should. So this was working great for 3 walls, but then we got to the 4th wall. And of course it was the last wall. It's always the last wall. There was a completely different wallpaper that was hidden underneath than the other 3 walls. And this paper had some teeth. No matter what we did to try to remove that top layer of wallpaper, it was damaging the wall underneath. So we had to come up with a solution that was going to either cover the mess or fix it to make all of the room uniform. And shellac primer is the hero of the story. So the fix number 2 that you can try is to seal everything down. There are a lot of different primers that you can use to help make this easy, but you want to choose the right primer. A water-based primer may reactivate the glue in the wallpaper, and then you'll be left with bubbles or possibly more peeling. And oil is a great option. However, most oil-based paints have a lot of fumes, and it's not fun to work with. Shellac is actually the best primer for blocking wallpaper. Shellac primer seals everything, even old glue and wallpaper backing. Plus, it gives you a clean slate to build from, even if the wall underneath is questionable. Plus, there's a little less odor than the oil-based paint, and it dries really quickly. One thing to know about shellac primer is that it is watery, so you might want to mask off your area if you want to protect anything underneath. So we applied the shellac to the 3 main walls, but we had to do some extra work to that 4th ugly surprise wall. This is fix option number 3, which is fixing the ugly. You're going to want some drywall compound and to lightly go over any of those areas where damage might be. So first, we shellacked the wall to kind of lock in that paper that wasn't going to budge. Then we went over with the joint compound and fixed any of the areas. Now here is a secret tip that has saved us many, many times in our DIY journey, and that is the shop vac. When you start to sand the drywall compound, get out your shop vac and turn that on while you're sanding. place it underneath to have it help collect any of the dust, and it really does minimize the mess, the dust that gets everywhere when you're sanding drywall compound. So that has been our secret weapon for sure. Now, if you're gonna go with our paint option that we're about to recommend, you don't need perfection here, and let me show you why. So the next fix option on here is to lean into the texture. The texture wallpaper that we had at the beginning was not going to work, no matter what finish that we place over top of it. Now here's where you have options. You can paint over it with a flat or an eggshell finish and be done with it, but if you end up with a lot of texture like what we were dealing with, then Limewash is the best solution. It's affordable, it's DIY friendly, it covers a lot of wall blemishes, and it's gorgeous. It has a high-end finish that has movement, which is why I'm actually in our dining room at the moment. We lime washed these walls in our personal home, and I still love it. Has a very slight movement to it, but it definitely gives that bougie high-end feel. So if you want to lean into the texture that's still showing, go with a soft Limewash finish. I do have a tutorial video on how to Limewash interior walls step by step, so you could go check that out for a detailed explanation. But really quickly, you just apply it with a crosshatch pattern, which is basically small X's that you're making on the wall, and that helps create that movement. Limewash adds movement and depth that hides imperfections, plus it creates a calm, elevated look, especially in rooms with lots of natural light. So we finished the first coat of Limewash, and we went back over with a thinner dilution to fill in any spots that we might have missed on that first coat. Once the finish was done, the last thing on our list to do for that room was to add some crown molding around the top, which helped tie in that chair molding perfectly. Now the room feels calm, cohesive, and totally ready for the open house. The room ended up looking amazing in the listing photos. This dining room went from unsellable to show ready, and our friends were thrilled. And the process didn't break the bank. We hope this helps you if you are facing your own wallpaper dilemma. If you would like, we have created a wall rescue guide that is a free downloadable PDF that can help you if you're dealing with a lot of different wall issues. And it walks you through all of these steps: wallpaper removal, priming tips, patching damaged walls, as well as a lot of other things. I'll make sure to put a link to that sign up in the description below. And we've been there, walls that feel like a lost cause. You have limited time and an even less budget. But don't give up, this is something you can totally handle. You don't need a gut renovation, you just need to know what works. And sometimes your imperfect wall is the perfect solution. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this helpful, be sure to like, subscribe. We have more budget-friendly DIYs coming your way, and you won't want to miss them.